Shevuot Daf limit hit Amud Aleph around 12 lines down. We're continuing what the judges tell people who are testifying or swearing rather. They warn them regarding what the punishment can be for swearing. So they're continuing. We started before. Now we're continuing. B'chol averot shebatorah im yesh lo zechut lin lo shnayim u'shadorot. Any other punishment in the world in the Torah or for averot, they don't get punished immediately. It could be held off for a couple two, three generations. Regarding swearing falsely, however, you get punished immediately. שנאמר, הוצאתי נאום השם צבאות, ובעל בית הגנב, והבית הנשבר בשמי לשקר, ולענה בתוך ביתו, וחילתו ועצת בית עשיו ועד אבניו. So, let's look in the pasuk. Hotzetia causes the curse to come out. La'atar means God punishes immediately for swearing falsely. Uba'al beit haganav comes to the house of the thief. Zeh hagonev dat habril. This refers to someone who's misleading someone else by swearing falsely. Who doesn't otherwise have a claim against you monetarily, but still causes him to swear unnecessarily. That's referring to a actual false swear. It causes the destroy the wood and the stones of a house. From here. Even things that fire and water don't destroy, like stones of a house, a false swear can destroy and be that destructive for a person's house. The guy says, you know what? I don't want to swear anymore. Put it into me out, they send him out. They pay, and he pays. If he says, I still want to swear, the people are sitting there, they turn to each other and say the following pasuk. Turn away from wicked people. Who must be in a have them swear minimum down. Have you that? You should know. Oh my gosh. We're not making you swear based on your understanding of what you're swearing about. Ella, adat makom, where you're swearing on God's understanding, v'adat badin and bedin, and the understanding of bedin. Shakim asinu Moshe Rabbeinu, we find the same thing with Moshe Rabbeinu. K'sheshbiya Yisrael Amar Lehem, when we told Bnei Yisrael to swear, he said to them, "De'ush lo adatchem ani nishbiya atchem adat makom v'adati." Ella adat makom. Rather, don't swear. Don't think you're swearing on your own interpretation of what you want to believe you're swearing on, but rather you're going according to what we think, right? You can't make up your own explanation for what you're swearing for. Like what a kid thinks, like, oh, I didn't say now, I meant now as in 5 minutes. Interpreted, self-interpreted. So you're saying no, you're swearing on God's interpretation and on my interpretation. Shanemar says, "V'lo itechem levadechem." Ki et asher yeshnu po. He says, I want to make this treaty for those who are here today. Any other time that only applies to those at Har Sinai. I know for people who are still not alive or weren't born yet at the time of Har Sinai, or people who futurely to convert. How do we know they're part of this? Talmud Mar says, and then those who are not here with us. Any other mitzvah sheikh Har Sinai. So he says that only applies to do swearing and do mitzvot that was by Har Sinai. How do I know even mitzvot that were being made later on, like Megillah, for example? Shneimar, Talmud pasuk says, "B'mim Purim, ki yimu v'ki belu." They confirmed and took it upon themselves. Ki yimu, they confirmed what they already accepted upon themselves by Har Sinai. We see they had a new acceptance by Megillah for Purim. Okay. Ma'af eni b'shna amra. What does it mean that he can be mentioned in his own language? Tanah Mishnah says, "Elu nabarim b'chodesh." From the following things can be mentioned in any language as long as the person understands it. Parashat Sotah, when they told the Sotah by the Bet Hamikdash, Vidu Maaser, the guy who's coming to give Maaser at the Bet Hamikdash, he says Pesukim, Kirat Shema, Tefillah, Birkat Hamazon and Birkat Hamazon, Ushvat the Edit and testifying swear, Ushvat the Epikidon and person swearing by a deposit, Bekal Navi. Shevuot Daf also the swearing of a judge. If judges wants you to swear because of a mixed case, the case of partial mission. Okay, one more. We tell the judge, the litigants. Have you done Shakol Amklon is there, the whole world shook. We said earlier that the whole world shook when the Pasuk says that you should not say God's name for no reason. I'm talking about why. Either because you want to say that mitzvah is given by Har Sinai. All the other 9 commandments of the Esed Dibra were also given. So why only this one it trembled? Ella maybe Mishum Hamira because it's so stringent. Tana Mishnah says Elo Henekla, what's considered a lenient Avera? Asev Lotase, Putz Milot Tisa, all the Ase and Lotase except for swearing falsely. Hamarot, those and the stringent ones, Zukratul B'Tabadin is referring to Karet and Bet and Hayat and Mita Betin. So Lota is part of that. So if the world shook because of the strictness of swearing falsely, it should have shook other strict avirot. The Gemara says, "Ella kid the following reason: because the other pasukim say that you could fix it, God will forgive you and clean you." But over here it does not say that. The Gemara says, but it doesn't mention anywhere else. But it says, we see that a person will not be absolved. The Gemara says, as if it's explaining the following. Tanya, it doesn't matter. Impossible to say that Hashem will always clean our sins. Hashem says also he won't clean it. You can't say he'll never clean it. He will clean it. That hasn't mean God will only clean those people's sins who are doing teshuvah, and he won't clean those who don't do teshuvah. Person who swears falsely cannot do teshuvah. It won't be able to clean it via teshuvah. He will be stuck. Okay. Next part of it, I said, all avirot, usually only that person gets punished, but swearing falsely will be coming against him and his family. But no other avirah gets hit by his family, by a person who worships the molech by giving his children through the avodah zarah molech and they die. And the family, why is family being punished if only he sinned? You can't find one family that doesn't have a that has a an unfair tax collector that has many tax collectors. There's no family that has one robber that's not full of robbers. The reason being is if one person in the family is doing something wrong, the other people in the family who are covering and not protesting him also don't have such good hobbies. So we see from here that a lot of avirot, the family gets punished. The Gemara says, no, hatam, but in the case of molech, bedina achina, the family gets hit with a lighter punishment. Hacham, in the case of the person who swears falsely, the dinar gets the same punishment as the guy who swore falsely. The Tanna says, what does it mean that you get cut by karet? Can it be the whole family gets karet? Oto, he will get cut. They won't get karet over there, but a person by swearing falsely will. The whole family can get cut. Okay. All avirot in the Torah, they get punished from the person, and then we hear the whole world. So, Al came to Evel Haaretz, the Tiva says that the world will mourn. Maybe it only applies to all avirot and not just that pasuk of swearing falsely. Okay, fine. Well, any other avirah, the whole world doesn't suffer. But the pasuk says, Torah, people get hit based on other people's avirot because we're all Jews are guarantors for each other. They can make kiddush for you, and also people can be punished for each other's avirot. The Gemara says, "Hatam, over is different." Sheesh beidan chav l'michot. There's one case where a person could have stopped him or protested avirah and they did. But here, for a false oath, even if they could not have stopped him from doing it, they still get punished. The Gemara says, "My ika ben what's the difference between the person who's avirah, the person who's sinning? The people who are sick, wicked people of the world. Ben tzadikim mishpato. And what's the difference between tzaddik of avirah, a person who's avirah, and then the family of a person avirah? What's the people who are regular to the king of the world. Where it says, "Who bishar avirot b'dina?" Other people for avirot besides swearing falsely, the guy gets doraita punishment. Ushaim b'mishpacha b'din hamor, and the people of that family get a very strict punishment. Ushaim da'alma b'din kal, the other people who are not wicked people, other people wicked people of the world, they get a light punishment. But in the case of a tzaddik, both them, the family is untouched. Regarding a shevuah, false swearing, who ushaim b'mishpacha k'dinei ushaim da'alma b'din hamor. The sinner, the wicked people, his family gets the direct punishment, and the wicked people in the world get punished. The tzaddik, the righteous tzaddikim only get light punishment. Okay. Imamar and Nishbaf, the guy says, I don't want to swear, put to me, I'll send them away. Imamar and Nishbaf, the guy says, we mentioned this pasuk. They tell each other, oh, turn away from wicked men. The Gemara says, makes sense to say the guy who's swearing is called wicked because he's swearing. And what is the other guy doing wrong? Meaning, The second litigant, the guy who has to swear because something went down wrong, that's fine. That he's wicked. He didn't do something correctly. Fine. I understand why you're calling him wicked. But the other plaintiff, the guy who's coming to Bedin with the problem that's causing this guy to swear, what did he do wrong? Where it says, this is because of both of you. The guy is, even if the guy is swearing for the right reason, the other guy is not completely innocent. He should have chosen a better person to watch his property that would not end up in the situation, and it's because of him that she's swearing has happened, therefore they're both called wicked. All right, so if someone causes someone else to do something, they're not so simple, they're always innocent. It's people are held responsible for other people's actions. Okay. Must be told make him swear. I mean, the Talmud know only on your understanding. I can say that commission kind of did because of the case of Rabba. Right, we had the case of the cane that the guy held the cane, thinking that he gave the guy the cane. And I mentioned, I'm sure I mentioned it. We'll say it again. He gave the other guy the cane. He owed money to Reuben. He gave Reuben the cane, and then he swore, "I gave you the money." The guy threw the cane on the floor, and the money came out. So when he swore, "I gave the money," he meant in the cane. So therefore, we say, swear on everybody's understanding, not just on what you understand. Okay. We said that the Mishnah said it has to claim at least two silver coins. The question about if you have to deny two coins at the minimum. Shmuel says the actual claim has to be two coins. I feel look but as long as he denies even a minute peruta amount, or he admits to only peruta have to swear as long as the entire case is worth at least two ma'ot, but not the entire denial. Okay. Marava. They can say Rav. Okay, proof from the Mishnah for Rav, and proof from the Pasuk for Shemuel. They said Rav proof from Mishnah for Rav. Telling right this because Mishnah says Hatanash take as if the claim for property has to be at least two silver me'ah coins. The admitting has to be at least a peruta. It doesn't mention you have to deny this to peruta. Therefore, the two me'ah, the two silver coins, is the minimum to deny. Tanami Nashal says that mention the denial of a Pruta as well. Therefore, we see that the Mishnah proves according to Rav. The proof from Pasuk for Shemuel, the T Pasuk says, "Miyiten ish adar ehu kesef v'klin lishmor." Ma kilim shnaim af kesef shnaim. So we say the person gives his friend either silver or utensils, and the word kelim for utensils is plural. So also the word silver is referring to plural, which is two silver coins. Ma kesef davar hashub is like if it has to be hashub. Av kol davar hashub, so any other item has to be considered a hashub item. It can't be it has to be something that's worth at least two silver ma'ah. Torah says kihuze has to be like this. You have to have at least partial admission of this item, even if you're denying less than the two ma'ah, as long as the case is talking about the two ma'ahs. Excuse me. Okay. How would Rav disagree with that? How would there's not possible need of kihuze that teaches you the following. When you're admitting a part of the claim, which means um, we'll explain soon, actually. Okay. That you have to admit to part of the claim. Shmuel says, no, the word Pasuk says who, Uktiv Zen says that. The Ikafar means that Hayab teaches you that if you admit and partial of the claim, you're Chayav to swear. Rav says no. Right, so he explains why he needs why the Pasuk can still teach you that. Right, so Rav says no. One word is teaching you that you're admitting a part of the claim. One is teaching you that you're Chayav for admitting part of the property in the claim. No extra words in the Pasuk. Shmuel says no. Don't we see from those two words that you could learn the hastra tana? You don't need to deny two full silver ma'ot coins because the original thing that he's claiming is now not there anymore. So therefore, we see that he's denying it has to be even less than two tanas. So how does Rav explain that? When it says Rav would say kesef ki meikara. When the pasuk says silver, it teaches you lekfira hudat is teaching you how much you have to deny. The imken. Because if you want to tell me that it's the full value of the claim, I mean, you might think my claim Shnayim, anything has to be two. Before even 2 minutes, if you just mention two killing, anything two. So I would have to have the right silver. If there's no nothing to do with the actual claim, therefore it teaches you regarding the denial as well. You have to have two silver mount. Or it says Shmuel says no. יכתב רחמנא כלים תורה mentioned כלים without writing silver, looked at the כסף, אבל מי מתאים, מה כלים שניים על כל שניים, אבל דבר חשוב לו אינן. Doesn't have to be significant. It's two minor items, not even significant items. It doesn't have to be something worth two ma'ot. Therefore, teaching you silver, the teacher has to be worth at least a certain amount of money. Speaking Mishnah. Someone says I have property worth two silver ma'ot in your possession. And the guy says, no, I only owe you peruta. Patur is patur from swearing. Right on why? Because seemingly he's not denying enough. The claim not enough. Question against Shmuel. The Gemara says no. Shmuel says Misa Brother Shavik Tani. The Mishnah doesn't say that the value is there. Daf Katani is mentioned specifically in a case where the gate of silver is being claimed. The guy claimed silver. The guy admitted to copper. Whatever was claimed was not admitted to him. What was admitted to was not claimed. That's why he patur. Yachi has the case in the Sef, and that's why the Mishnah says, someone says, I have two silver coins and a pruta in possession. And the guy says, no, only a pruta chayav. But that makes sense to do with value because it's the same type of item. The case where specific metals, why chayav? It's two different items. It says, this the Gemara says this is the coin to Shmuel. I'm not Shmuel. We see over there that if the guy requests the claim is two different items, the guy admits to one of them, you're still chayav. So over here, regarding the case of the silver and copper, the guy admits to the copper is still chayav. Hachinam is starting to prove to you as well, because Mitana Sefer, the next part of Mishnah says, someone says, I have gold in your possession, and the guy says, no, I only have silver. You only have silver. Patur, patur. It makes sense to say specifically if it's gold and the guy made it a silver, that's why it's patur, because it wasn't the same type of item. But it has to do with value. The gold's worth more and the silver is admitted, therefore you could technically do the same. When it says that's the case, that the second part of the Mishnah is referring to literally the type of coins and not the value. That means the person can also to have it to therefore it's a question against Rav. Could we see from there that he's also admitting to the actual type of coins and you still have to swear? Where it says no, Rav would say really the whole Mishnah is talking about value. And why is the guy patur in the first case? It's because zahav shani, because gold is different. Because gold is talking about weight. And that's different. Tedem proves it. It's a tiny sefer because the next part of Mishnah says dinar zahav liavatchav. The guy says I have a golden dinar in your name, in your possession. And the chav dinar is a kesef. And the guy says no, I only have a silver dinar, a silver dinar. And then also all different types of coins. Chayav is chayav. Shakol min b'liya because they're all type of coins. It makes sense to say it could make sense to say because to my value. Mishma chayav is chayav. But davka, but if you're talking about a case of the actual item, my chayav, why chayav? The guy didn't admit to anything except for other type of coins. He didn't admit to gold. Where it says no, it's not a case where the guy demanded and claimed a specific type of golden coin. And therefore, the Mishpalan that teaches you the Pruta is considered a coin, and that's why you have to swear, because even though it's a different type of coin, it's still considered a partial admission. The economic proves the Mishnah, because the Mishnah specifically says that the coins are all the same type of property. I have to swear. So that's according to Rav. So that was according to Shmuel. Rav, how would he explain the Mishnah? That the guy has to swear because all the coins in the Mishnah are the same. To teach you that even if the guy admits on a peruta, he's chayav to swear, even though it's just a peruta. But according to Lazar, we did that since he explained the second part of the Mishnah according to Shemuel, like we said earlier, that Lazar said that the golden dinar is referring to coins and not the money. Reshinami Kishmael Shilet, does he hold like the first case also of the Mishnah according to Shemuel, in like the case where talking about the coins, where it says La Sefer Daf, the second part of the Mishnah is referring to the coins. Because Mishnah specifically said over there the coins are the same. The first case, however, you can either say according to Rav, who says that it's talking about monetary value of the coins, or Kishmael, that he said that it's talking about the type of metals, but there's no proof that Rebbe would hold like Shmuel even in the first case of the Mishnah.